that you could pull out all the time. Pretty much every day there's some peg to talk about Tyler Perry.
Oh, God.
And somehow, they know that
he just got named like
richest Negro in America.
Richest Negro. He's the biggest, blackest.
But I mean, I cannot stand Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
And it's nothing personal. Nothing personal. I've never met him.
Neither have I.
I don't care about what he does when he's not making films.
I am literally in my head saying, please, Aisha, don't say anything. That's what I'm just not going to editorialize.
Purely aesthetic. He is a horrible filmmaker. One of the worst filmmakers, directors in Hollywood. He excels at no aspect of filmmaking, not writing, not acting, not set design, not cinematography, nothing. Okay? And then Aisha's covering her mouth with both her hands. He perhaps excels at marketing, but that's not really filmmaking. That's something different. And his films have this pervasive love of victimology and telling especially women it's okay to be a victim. And this is a horrific message to be sending out to black people and black women in particular. And then
they all get saved. All the women, I haven't seen all these movies.
They didn't get saved in For Color Girls. You know what happened in the end? I'm going to ruin it. They hugged. They had all these horrible things happening to them. This one gets raped. This one loses her child. This. And then at the end, they come together on a roof and they hug.
I have not seen it.
And it's not even a restorative hug. It's just... we're hugging.
It's just like a pat. We're all in the same boat.
It's cinematic in that they're all in a line, right? So it's arm over the shoulder for the 8 or whatever main characters.
So they just do like a curtain call.
It's basically yeah. It's just a curtain call, and it's just such a horribly written film. One thing you notice in most movies, there's a reason why the movie starts on the given day.
Right.
Somebody just got killed.
Right.
Somebody just got a job.
Catalytic moment,
somebody just started school. Somebody just woke up from a coma. This is why we started today.
2 guys peed in a fountain and they switch bodies.
Their friends go out to a bar and they confess, I really want your life, and
exactly.
we're off and running. And then there's a reason why it ends. For Colored Girls, why did it start when it started? I don't know. Why did it end when it ended? I don't know. We could have moved that time frame 6 months forward in those same characters' lives, 6 months back, 2 years forward, 2 years back. It doesn't matter. They're going through atrocities all the time,
right.
And what happens at the end? They hug.
Right.
There's no resolution. And this is typical of his films. We haven't even talked about the cross-dressing thing, the emasculation of black masculinity.
Also the total tragic drag. It's the most confusing. Having a lot of gay men in my life, I don't understand the drag of Medea. It is like the drag that you go see on there's a bar in Denver that you go to where it's like a bunch of men in the worst drag possible,
right.
Where they have a miniskirt on and they're hanging brain. That's the kind of drag that he is doing.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
We're back into edge play.
Well, we're always there. We live there. We live on the edge. And the point is it's sad and it's funny and it's awful and you can't eat your eggs. You know what I mean?
That's what he said.
That is exactly what he said. Well, he could probably eat his eggs because he's ready to eat some eggs. But my point is...
You're outdoing me.
I'm trying. I've never understood that kind of tragic drag because I don't know what it means because it's not necessarily validating gay culture or celebrating it. It's something completely different.
It's not. But the other part of it is that as soon as you say Tyler Perry in a room full of black people, it's a fight.
Right.
It's like snatching somebody's weave.
Right.
It's a fight. There are immediately two camps set up. It's immediately polarizing. And as soon as I finish, I go to Twitter to see how I did.
So you speak about it on TV.
Yes.
And then you go to Twitter.
Because the guy I was on with was brilliant and nice, but he has nearly... I'm not dissing. He doesn't have the passion that I do about this issue, and he doesn't have... perhaps the experience.
And you've clearly thought about it
many times.
Yeah.
I did this on NPR. I've done this on Twitter. I've done this in other places. So the Tyler Perry thing is deep. I know he's about to say that Tyler Perry, at least he employs a lot of black people. Well, you know what? so do drug dealers. So does McDonald's. Like it's a bullshit argument on my part, but it's a bullshit argument on your part. Just let's give him credit because he hires black people. Like la-di-da to do a horrible
like he runs McDonald's.
job. That's not enough for me. And but so I go back to Twitter. And there's a bunch of people who were like, great hit, good job. And then here comes the other crew.
Oh, yeah.
Led by my friend who I love to fight with, Roland Martin.
Oh, Roland.
How dare you? You're such a coon. And Roland
no,
wasn't calling names, but other
really?
people are calling names. But how dare you diss Tyler Perry, blah, blah, blah. And, he hires black people. There are others who make worse films. You're an intellectual. You're a bougie. You are not respecting. You couldn't do better. If you think you could do better, why don't you make a film? A lot of people like his movies. Why are you hating?
Wow. Oh, no.
And then I got the tweet. And after an hour plus of getting the hate because I was supposedly hating so crabs in a barrel of you.
Oh, vintage criticism.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with crabs in a barrel, people.
But I'm entitled to my motherfucking opinion.
He's an artist, quote unquote artist. I'm judging him, critiquing him as an artist. I'm not talking about him as a person.
Right. Just about his work.
And after an hour of you're a hater, you're this and that. And the only time I ever see intellectual used as a pejorative is when we start bashing Tyler Perry.
Right.
And it's generally me and
other
professors.
the Tea Party loved to use the word intellectualism.
Well, no, but in my life, right?
Well, yeah.
Me and the other professors like Mark Lamont Hill, Melissa Harris Perry, Blair Kelly are saying, well, these are our problems with Tyler Perry. And then people come up and be like, well, you're an intellectual.
Right.
And I actually think that was...
The inside of that is, but you're a thinking person who analyzes what's going on around them and then comes up with an opinion.
Yeah.
Like that. How is that a criticism?
I don't know. I never understood it.
I think someone Googled, I ate a McDonald's and I thought it was salty and fatty and bad for me.
Gross.
Well, you're a foodie.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You're a foodie with your palate and your yes.
You really like and understand food. What's wrong with you?
Your refined palate and your taste.
And then it was interesting, just the community of Twitter, because after about an hour and a half or so of the Tyler Perry battle, I don't get tired of these fights.
Oh, look at you! I do. I get tired. I get so tired.
Then I was bashing. And then as a little joke, I sent Spike a tweet, and I was just like, "What's up, brother?"
Funny.
It's a wink, and then he says back, saw you dissing a certain person who makes movies.
I like your impression of it, by the way.
Well, that wasn't even an attempt to do an impression of Spike, but it was it was okay, so the other side,
right?
Sort of the Jedi of the other side has seen you, because this is a schism in many black families that exists in mine to a certain extent, where Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. comes, Easter, whatever,
right?
And the older members of the family, the female members of the family, not all but men, lead the charge to say, let's watch a Tyler Perry film.
Oh, that will never happen.
And the younger members of the family, perhaps people who've gone to college or whatever, are like, ew, no, gross, maybe a Spike Lee movie, and they're like, no, we don't like Spike Lee, perhaps because he's over our head. He doesn't entertain us. And I can't stand Tyler Perry because his films are gross and they don't entertain me because there's nothing going on for my brain. There's no brain food there. And you see it a lot. I hear it a lot.
Here's what happens
in black
my house.
families.
Mom, let's watch Inception. My mother, let's watch a pre-code film. Literally, my mother is pre-code. My mother wants to watch pre-Hollywood code. Black and white films from the 30s.
Deep.
And I'm like, but do we not see that all the black people in this movie are dancing? I love my mother so much, but we can't even have a modern intellectual conversation about film because I get it. She's like, well, these were groundbreakers. I'm like, yes, but the ground they broke was some thin ass ground. It was some topsoil shit.
My mom, if there's any cursing, if she thinks there will be any cursing in the movie, she's not interested.
Oh, wow.
But then if it's like a Woody Allen, not interested.
Right.
I mean, she's interested
narrow,
in
isn't it?
very, very little.
Wow.
And I always know that if she's going to like it, I'm not going to like it, and vice versa. And that played out really badly. We all went to The Color Purple, and it was actually I don't think this ever happened before. My mother, my sister, my grandmother, my mother's mom, and me went to The Color Purple. I actually read the book.
Yeah.
I actually saw the movie, which is very strong.
Yeah.
And I actually saw the play.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm sitting
editorial.
there like...
Subtext editorial.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, don't do that. No, make him be nice. Oh, no. And you know what? I was not going to ruin these women's experience at the theater. So I was not going to be the educated curmudgeon who's like, it was not what Spielberg did, it was not what Alice Walker wanted, blah, blah, blah. So I was saying nothing. So we're in the lobby afterward, and my sister, she's a doctor. I love her. She's brilliant in terms of that medical shit. She's not an intellectual, and I think she would admit that. She's like, I loved it. She talks like that. I loved it. My mom's like, I loved it. My grandmother is like, from Alabama, a woman of few words, but she's like, I really enjoyed it. And I'm saying nothing.
Don't say anything. You
not
can't
gonna
win.
mess
Why
up the
bother?
party.
No, don't do
it. And my mom asked me a direct question.
Oh, no.
What did you think?
Oh, no.
And, all I had to do is just be like, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't going to go in my whole Pauline Kael rant for them. But it was like,
Because you're going to save that for print.
Well, yeah. And, just Debbie Downer, like...
Not so much.
I wasn't feeling it.
This is such a perfect segue into talking about your book because...
No, it's not. But...
No, it really is. It really is because you were talking about uniformity of opinion and the idea that you can't criticize anybody in the firmament and I think
when Sade's last album came out, I did not like it, and I said on Twitter I didn't like it, and people actually said you're not black.
Like
didn't diss her whole career.
Right.
I love Sade.
Right.
Just her last album. And I can't say that I didn't like one album.
That there's this lockstep attitude. And I would posit to you that it is not necessarily unique to the Black American community, because I think you could be Jewish and you could say something that was like, I don't think Israel did what was right in this particular case, and people would criticize you for that.
Well, that's a bedrock political thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't think it's unique to us, but it is specific in the sense that people want and demand this lockstep attitude about never criticizing any successful Black person, never criticizing, never speaking critically, which is not the same as criticizing, but never speaking critically about anybody's work within the kind of the Black firmament. Like, like for example, I'm a hip hop fan, but I'm not a fan of several very popular hip hop artists. I like underground hip hop. I like weirdos. I like outsider shit.
You like Danny Brown?
God, I don't even know who Danny Brown is. I'm not even an outsider now. I feel ashamed.
He's good. You up on Das Racist?
No.
Oh, you got to get into Das Racist.
God.
They're good. They're good.
They're good. But you know what I mean? That
Tyler the Creator?
No. Oh God.
Tyler the Creator?
You're putting me on blast right now.
Odd Future?
Tyler the Creator.
Yes.
How did I not understand what you just said? Yes. Tyler the Creator. I know what Tyler the Creator is. Yes. Amazing. Tyler the Creator is amazing. Tyler the and
Earl Sweatshirt?
Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl Sweatshirt.
I don't know Earl Sweatshirt.
Well,
but
he's in the Tyler. He's Free Earl.
I only know Tyler.
But he talks about Free Earl like every other song. That's his man who's in Samoa. Is the 16-year-old who's in the group.
I need to read more.
It's like
I'm like one of those old people. Like I love that Jay-Z. He's jaunty. He's got a beat snappy. So humiliating. But the idea that you can't, like, I have had this conversation with my mother quite a bit where I've said to her, when she talks about the establishment or other people keeping us down, and I have to say, look, we impose as many constrictions on ourselves. We judge ourselves as much.
I mean, to that point, I interviewed 105 people for this book, and one of the things I was really surprised to find is the way that Black people drive the conversation around color stereotypes to this day. And dark-skinned people are receiving the message that you are less worthy or less beautiful or what have you from Black people. And sometimes in an inverse way, their parents are telling the darkest child in the family, overcompensating, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're special. And they hear it so much and they see it's different than what the other kids are getting, and they realize, you don't think I'm beautiful, that's why you keep saying it so damn much. And then they go out in the street and their friends, their peers tell them, you ain't shit.
Right.
And it's like, oh.